What is up, everyone? It's Blake.
Abby.
And Kayla.
Let's sit down and open this cardboard box. What is up, everybody? Where do I look?
I know I forgot. We're in a new spot today. As you can see, we have my mom.
Hi.
Mom, use your words. Abby, how was Wyoming? We're missing Abby for the weekend.
Oh,
We're a little
my
late this week.
Gosh, it was beautiful. I want to move there.
What'd you guys do?
So we went bar hopping, which I've never really been to bars other than the one that I've worked at. So it was really cool experiencing like what it's like being in a bar. But it was enough. It was good for the weekend, but I'm chilling now.
Nice.
But yeah, it was amazing. It was great seeing Jocelyn. I really missed her.
Otto, lay down, please. Lay down.
Did
Kayla,
you just say please to your dog?
I've tried.
I tried.
How was your weekend, Kayla? What did we do?
Amazing. So much volleyball. My legs.
Yeah,
I can't even walk up the stairs without gripping onto the stairwell like an old person.
It's kind of funny.
It's so bad.
I'm still very dead from this weekend.
Yeah.
And
The sunburn.
from like 11 to like 8, we were
Yeah.
outside right there playing volleyball.
Right out yonder.
I think my mom's mute.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking, I think it was longer than that.
Yeah.
It
But
might have been.
We'll get right into it. We were excited to have my mom on today to help us talk about new beginnings and moving forward. And I feel like with what she's been through lately, she's the perfect candidate.
What better person to ask?
Oh boy.
So, what are some of your new current hobbies, Mom?
The gym. Learning to ride the motorcycle. That's a hard one. Watching you guys play volleyball.
So crazy. We're crazy.
She's our cheerleader.
Yeah. And then kind of being the DD for your group a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Kind
So,
of my new things.
before all these new hobbies, what has life looked like for you the last few years?
Whew, a lot of changes. A lot of changes. Obviously, the divorce, moving out here to the farm. That's probably going to lead to one of our biggest other hobbies is the hobby of working on this little house. That's something we spend a lot of time doing. But just huge changes in life. You're essentially just starting everything over from scratch and getting back to who and what you are. And I think that's what we're doing out here. Just getting back to the ground level and rebuilding everything.
So since we're all of us are still growing up, getting older, starting our lives, do you have any advice for anybody starting new chapters like us from somebody who just closed a chapter and is starting a new one?
Absolutely. You guys need to embrace living your life. Yes, you need to work, have jobs, pay your bills, all that. But I think one thing that everybody kind of loses track of, and Blake actually helped me come to this realization is, it's good to have a good, decent life set up with money, all that.
Yeah.
But that's not the end all.
No.
Life experiences, happiness, joy, fun, because you never know when life is going to be over. So that's kind of the one thing I wish all of you guys really learn is like have fun living your life. Everybody's going to say, oh, by this age you should have a house, by this age you should be married, by this age. No, there isn't a rule book
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, what was
Like-
that like for you growing up? Like, did you ever get that?
No. Like nobody was. I was highly encouraged to not be with your dad. I was actually disowned by my family for a long time. They didn't speak to me for a very long time until I got pregnant with Drew, actually, because they were not for it. So, no, I didn't have that. But I did have the you need to go to college, you need to do this, you need to do that, and all my cousins are kind of big deals. And I just never really, I just kind of wanted to live life. And
As you should.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that it's really important that you live the life experiences. And Blake can attest to this. I always told them in high school, don't get in a relationship, don't have a girlfriend, don't have a boyfriend. Like, don't miss out on life experiences because somebody might get mad at you if you go. You know, that type of thing. Just, go out and be wild and do your thing. And then when you get it out of your system, then meet somebody, you know, and do all that. You probably remember that.
What?
Me telling you guys, don't get girlfriends,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
do this, don't do that. Go live life, have fun, enjoy, be wild and crazy and get it out, get through all that, experience what you want.
Like with your friends and stuff?
Yes, yeah. Like, don't tie yourself to a person who's going to be like, well, you can hang out with your friends and not with me, type
Yeah.
thing.
Did you have any like long-term friendships though that made you appreciate growing up and doing things with them? Like, it wasn't your significant other, but it was still like one of your best friends,
Yes, I did. I had a couple really good friends from like grade school that we kind of shared the same interests, the horse thing. We showed horses together, did stuff like that. I don't know, like my childhood was a little bit sketchy. There was a lot of chaos in my childhood as well. So I hung around with my horses a lot,
Yeah.
and my grandma. And you might not remember her because she died when you guys were very young. But I hung around with my grandma a lot. That was actually probably my best friend.
That's how I am with my grandma.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was probably the one person that I relied on the most in my life. So I was pretty wrapped up in the horse show world and doing that type of stuff. And then met your dad, and then all chaos broke out after that. It was just a whole bunch of turmoil. But I was stubborn. I was going to make it work. I didn't.
Yeah, 'cause what kid is not going to say that?
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't even 18 yet when I met
Yeah.
him. So I was going to make it work, and everybody else was wrong, and they weren't. I was.
I freaking knew it. These dogs are fired. Like,
I'm just glad it was you and not me.
for your head.
Not sorry.
So, what was it?
Stop it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what's it like seeing friendships end that you thought would like last forever? Like people that you like grew up with, you're like, okay, like these people are going to carry my casket if I die before them.
Honestly, easier than I thought it would be.
Really?
Yes. And I don't say that lightly.
Right.
I think we all, as we get older, we all change. We close chapters. I
Exactly.
think that's something that happens.
Yeah.
and they just didn't make it to the next chapter.
right. And they may have dropped us partway through the chapter, and
Like
we
before,
didn't realize
before
it.
you even realized it.
Yes. So it's like okay. I made a promise to myself that I feel like I spent my entire life chasing people, like trying to keep them happy, keep them close to me, keep them tied with me. And it was, as soon as they pull away, I'd chase after. Oh, come back, come back, come back,
Yeah.
So I made a promise to myself I was never going to do that with no one ever. Like, am I perfect? Absolutely not. But I'm also not bad.
No.
So it's kind of a situation where, as a chapter ends, and there's nothing we can do about it. So it hasn't been, it's rough. And you think about it once in a while, you're like,
I
I
feel
wonder
like
how they're doing.
I realize it after it's over. I realize, like I could see it was coming
Yes.
afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
not
But I
during
don't
it.
see it in the moment.
Yeah, because
They
you're too
say
busy.
hindsight is 20/20, right?
Yeah,
You look back and you're like, oh, I should have caught that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or, oh, well, that was.
Or even like the good times weren't necessarily genuinely the good times. It was just kind of like
the normal.
They were nice.
which I mean,
Yeah, the
you're like,
habit.
oh, like we're good now. But them, I feel like it was just one of those getting through it until they found their next.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you were almost a gap filler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like whenever I don't have some new shiny somebody to be with, I'll call on you.
Yeah.
Or whenever, whatever, And so I feel like it's kind of, you're just almost conditioned to
Yeah.
accept it, I guess, in a
Yeah.
way. But yeah, it hasn't been that bad. I don't know. That's the newfound thing with life for me. Is just you're just going to embrace each thing as it comes to you, and if it's for you, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
I feel like
Yeah.
once you move forward though and you're happy, it's just kind of like easier to brush off and just
Exactly.
realize you don't need that.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And it can go both ways. Maybe I'm not the right person for them as they aren't the right person for me anymore, you know?
And I mean, realizing that it wasn't like that genuine of a thing, or maybe it was. I don't know. Are you thankful for the like experiences these friends have brought to you and stuff like that? Or do you look back and think, oh man, like, is it tainted?
No.
You know what I mean?
No, because I'm a very solid and firm believer in the fact that you can never have regrets or, oh, I wish this wouldn't have happened. Even your wreck, honestly. Because everything that happens in your life, I mean, I regret that you had to be in the wreck, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I'm thankful that it happened. I like where I am now. So I'm like,
Yeah, like,
honestly, it kind of
I mean,
knocked me in the right direction.
Yeah, right. But it's like everything that happens, good, bad, indifferent, it all creates the person you are now. So if anybody ever says, what's your greatest regret in life? Nothing, because I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have who I have in my life. I wouldn't know who I know in my life. I wouldn't have had contact and maybe lost contact with everybody. It's all part of what makes you you. So you can't have regrets. You can't have, oh, shoot, I wish I'd never met them. No, because it's just all part of building up who we are now.
That's
Just
a
my
great way to
opinion.
put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how I kind of have to look at everything. I remember like when you wrecked, everybody's like, "Oh, are you so angry? And are you gonna sue him?" And I'm like, well, "Who can I be mad at? What can I be
Who
angry
would they
at?"
want you to sue?
Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, what am I gonna do? Sue the wild horse that ran in front of his car? Like, and I can't be angry. Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
It destroyed me, but it,
It
you know,
happened.
it's part of life, and it, it sucks. But at the same time, it's not worth being angry over. I guess that's kind of my new theory.
Yeah.
Like, am I
nothing's
dead?
worth-
Is anyone dead? Like, why get mad?
Right.
That kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's it gonna do for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just gonna make your stomach hurt,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reduce your length of life. Like stress is rough on your lifespan and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
else. So
So how can you
waiting for Caleb.
So how can you like tell the difference in a friend, like a pure friend or if the type of friend who's like trying to just fill a void? Like when you're going through the motions, you're like,
Yeah, now that you know what you know,
yeah.
what would your insight be to that?
I don't know that. Okay, it's going to be different every time, right?
Right.
Because it's going to depend on where they're operating from. It's not a play by play. It's not like every single person does the same certain thing, just like
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Honestly, as we all know what I'm like. So there's some people that I'm pretty tolerant with and I have the right intentions, and there's other people that probably think we're all good that we're really not.
Yeah.
Because it's just I have to maintain a certain demeanor,
Mhm.
whatever, for whatever reason. I feel like my answer to that would be if you start to get a gut feeling that that's what it is, don't talk yourself out of it.
But what if you push the feeling down and you don't you're like
But that right
you
there's your
know?
indicator.
Yeah.
Because you're having the feeling, but you're pushing it down.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean.
Like
Right.
giving them too many chances, kind of
Right.
thing.
Like if you're
Okay.
like, oh, I feel like, they're not talking to me right now because Sally Sue's over there. Oh, no, that's not what it is.
The
This is just
doubts.
me being silly. Okay, that's your indicator.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
For
For the most part, yeah.
if you have that indicator, don't just jump off the deep end the first time. But if you
Right.
start to see repeats of that little indicator that you're having to shove something down, that's probably your first, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And it's hurtful, right? Like we don't want to admit that we're seeing that.
No.
We don't
right.
want to deal with seeing that because it sucks.
Do you think some people are worth giving chances?
Oh, absolutely.
Do
I think
you-
everybody is.
Do you think you can go from having a pure friendship into almost like a void filler? Does
Oh,
it-
absolutely.
yeah.
Did you ever experience that? Yeah.
Yep. But it's okay. I mean, honestly, I get it in a way
It's almost
because,
like you don't want to let go because you've known them for so long, right?
well,
Like on your end or their end, you get it.
on their end, because I'm not always going to be the friend that says what you want to hear.
Mm.
You know, sometimes I'm just more like, okay, well, this or that, you know. And sometimes I'm a little too forthcoming in things, and I probably should shut my mouth. But I don't.
Yeah.
So I get it. That's takes a special person to want to hear that stuff. And I'm the same way. There's very few people in my life that I can take real harsh stuff from without getting upset. But I get it.
Yeah.
So I guess not just friends, but would you say that it's okay to like even distance yourself from like family that you don't see helping you go where you want to go?
Yeah. I think it's all inclusive. It all goes back to um, when I was going through therapy um, before leaving. He just kept telling me all, over and over and over and over that self-care is the number one priority, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. And well, that's what we do, is we take care of the ones we love, right? And he was really the one that helped me come up with the plans and processes and procedures about, we're not going to chase anybody. If someone wants to walk out of your life, you're going to let them. If you want to walk out of somebody's life, you walk out.
I feel like just the family like,
But that's a stigma.
but no, I'm just saying like the
Yeah.
family badge doesn't mean that you have like around my own family, my blood family. I'm like, I don't feel like this is a genuine family connection. I feel like it's just kind of put on for a show connection. And it's like I'm very in tune with, I don't know, the vibes, I guess you could say. And it's like I never felt a genuine connection with my own like blood family. Like I found better family with like people I've known for like a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
like when I go to family functions, I don't feel like I'm at a family function. I feel like I'm at some weird freaking
Strangers.
community dinner. It's weird.
Community dinner.
And there's like cliques within the dinner, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like,
Eh.
this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, no. I mean, we all know the situation I'm
Yeah.
in, and is it sad? Does it suck? Yep.
But then again, that's also what I'm like, am I actually sad, or am I just like making myself think that I'm sad because it's my family and I should have to be?
Yeah.
Because realistically, I'm not sad, as dicky as it sounds to say. But it's like, I feel like the general public, like I should be sad because that's my family. But it's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, what's that thing that goes around on Facebook or whatever it is? It's like family, something about toxic is toxic, whether it's family
Yeah,
or
that's how
not. I can't remember the exact way it's worded, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
Like on paper, yeah, I should be sad, but do I feel sad? No. You know what I mean?
Right, but just because you're related doesn't
Exactly.
mean you have to it's kind of like when you were in kindergarten and they were tattling on you because you didn't want to be friends with somebody.
Yeah, or I was in
And
second
I'm
grade. I was in second grade.
Okay, whatever you were in. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. It's like, so he doesn't have to like everybody.
Right.
And not everybody has to like him. And just because somebody likes him doesn't mean he has to like them, and vice versa. It's just, I feel like it's kind of that way. I mean, I will always love because there was a time when like your dad's family carried me through life. Like they took me in. When my family like said, we're done with you, your dad's family took me in. Like, so grateful and so thankful for that. But then, things just, it didn't stay that way.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, you have to stay true to yourself. And I didn't do that for many, many years.
I feel like for me though, like I like where I am and what I'm doing, so
Oh, I love where we are.
I like doing what makes me happy, and like that doesn't fall into the order of things because it didn't. You know what I mean? So
No, and that's what I
happy-
say to all of you. Don't
Yeah.
ever settle. Don't chase for something. Don't like, oh, I've been dating this person for 7 years. I should marry him, or 2 years.
and
or
it's not like
whatever.
one of those in the
Yeah.
moment happies either. It's like I could see this being a long-term happy. So like,
Mm-hmm.
why change it for something?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
Exactly.
it's not like I'm a high schooler, like, oh, I'm happy about blah, blah, blah this week. So it's like you change your whole life for something that lasts for like a month. But it's like,
Hence the reason I said don't get involved in relationships in high
yeah.
school.
So it's like, this
Yes.
is one of those things where like, I'm an
Yeah.
adult now and I'm happy and this is where I really like being. So like,
Yeah.
Life is
why-
good.
yeah,
right?
life is good. Like why chase things that aren't worth chasing and why that kind of thing.
It's the old saying, if you have to chase it, it's not meant for you.
Yeah.
Because it should be a mutual chase,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right?
Not
Like,
just one person.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like you guys come over here, not that we're in a, but you know, like we're all pouring into each other
Yeah.
all the way around. Like this whole group just pours into each other. You know, I know if I need help, I can call on somebody. You guys could call
Yeah.
on us. Like we're all gonna pitch in. That's happy. And that's just what we have to pursue.
And what sucks is I don't even remember how we became friends, so I can't even give advice on that.
I know.
It just gotta happen. So I guess that's some advice. Just,
Oh,
just
wait,
let it
no,
happen.
but I
Just it
found
happened.
the other day, not to sidetrack us, but I found the first selfie we took, and it was at Landon's house in like
All three of us?
like January of like not last year,
The year before.
the
So
year before.
2022.
I think so. Yeah, 2022.
Jeez.
And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
we look nothing like that anymore.
Do you know when I realized you were Darren's daughter?
No, When?
Like when we went to buy all the stuff for the podcast room. I kept thinking there's a piece to this I'm missing. I know there is.
And I could tell she was on the verge too because she wasn't asking me. She was just kind of like trying to figure it out on her own. Like
You could just see
she
the
never
thoughts
asked
rolling
me,
off.
but I
can
could
see the
tell
little
she,
brain
like,
Yeah.
rolling, right?
See the steam coming out the
Yeah.
ears.
Like you hear the
Everything.
click.
So,
Yeah.
do you remember that 4th of July? Have we
Yes.
talked about that?
I remember the junior rodeos and stuff, being around all that
Really?
stuff. Oh yeah, we used to go all the time.
That's so funny.
Not all the time,
But,
we'd
like,
go.
often, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
No, it's insane. Like absolutely insane.
Such a
It's-
small world, too.
right. Especially considering way back in those days, we were in Warden.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, you weren't living here.
or there.
Or yeah,
Yeah,
or
or
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And see, it was Blake's wreck, which, like, that's how I, like, caught news of who you guys were when everybody was, like, posting, oh, like, pray for
Everybody was
Blake. It was
freaking
like,
out.
okay,
Yeah.
praying for Blake now. Don't know Blake, but praying for Blake.
Oh, but wait, you do.
But apparently I did. But I was like, oh, these people who were, like, shared, I was like, okay,
Right.
must be a good guy. Like, and then I read and I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, oh, and then here we are. It's like crazy.
Here we are
Yeah, here we
in the
are.
cardboard box.
Yep, in the cardboard box.
So, in the grand scheme of things, Mom,
Mm-hmm.
what would be like one of your biggest tips for someone to move forward and start a fresh new chapter to become happy?
It's a mindset. It's all about the mindset. My biggest tip would be where there's a will, there's a way. Anything. I don't care what it is. And it may suck getting it done. But I'm just a very firm believer in where there is a will, there is a way. You will figure out a way to get it done. And you may have to enlist help of others.
Yeah.
You may have to recruit assistants, like not assistants, but assistants
Yeah.
to get it done. You know, you may have to beg and plead and do stuff, you know, like work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you can always, you got to wake up and you have to choose to be happy. You can't dwell in what you've left behind. You can't dwell on it. You can't be like, oh, I just missed that. You just have to be like, I'm going to have to suck it up. This is the closing of a chapter. It's a new page. So you have to move on to the new.
So, like, even if you didn't like the last one, do you think it would still be hard to get over it? It's almost like one of those things where you're conditioned to, like, miss it in a way.
No.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
You know, like, people,
For me, no.
like, some people, like, think of like, oh, I missed that one summer so badly, and it's just like one of those things where your brain's just craving that high again.
I barely remember the last however many years. I have huge gaps of memory, like just huge gaps. And sometimes somebody brings something up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Or I won't even remember it at all, even as they're literally telling me the entire story. I'm like, yep, no memory of that. And they're like, yeah, remember you said such and such. Nope.
You were like, I was just trying to get through.
My brain blocked it out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was like PTSD brain. You know, it wasn't hard for me, but I think I was just so done.
Yeah.
I never even cried. I did a lot of crying for 27, 30 years, but yeah, no, for me it wasn't. I had just finally got to the point where no. And even if I do have oh, that was a fun trip, I'm thankful I have the memory of that fun whatever, or that,
Yeah.
you know, loving moment or whatever. I'm thankful for that stuff, but I've also closed the chapter out. So now I have to embrace it and just move forward. That's my big thing. Just where there's a will, there's a way. Choose happiness every day. Even if you wake up and you're having a bad morning, just like the other day, I woke up sad. I'm like, this sucks. And I patted around for a few minutes. And I was like, all right, time to change the mentality, you know, change the direction we're going to go for today and figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and you may need to get, you know, if you ever get in a bad spot, ask for help. Go see someone, you know, go to the church, go to therapy, you know, go to a close friend, go to anyone.
Come to my preschool class.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'll have like a bad morning, then I'll walk into class and they'll be like, good morning, beautiful. I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's fine now.
Great morning now.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Best day I've had in a long time.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest word of advice. Have the will, find the way. Like, you guys need to embrace every change that comes down the pathway, right? Like, you are not obligated. If you've been dating somebody since high school, it's 7 years later. Okay, everybody expects you to get married.
Yes.
That's the normal next step. That's the habit, right? Like, you've created a habit because you have X
It's
number
like
of
a
years.
standard almost.
Yeah. But it's not.
Yeah.
Like, so some great opportunity comes and you can go live in Wyoming, you know, wherever Abby wants to move now, because she can't. We're not going to let her, but I mean,
Yeah.
where she wants
She's not
to
going
go,
anywhere.
but it's not an option. It's like, jump in.
Yeah.
You know, live life.
Don't get stuck.
Don't get stuck and don't settle.
Yeah.
Never settle. Never accept. Never follow the path.
So how do you get out of the mindset of feeling as if you should settle? Does that make sense?
Yeah. For me, it was just
It was never there. Or was it?
that I had to settle. I had to
Yeah.
follow the path. I had to that. Oh, yeah, I was absolutely there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But, and I know it always, like, that wreck, that destroyed me. And it teaches you really quick. And Blake's actually the one. Blake is the one that put me in that mentality, because he was getting ready to go ride a stud horse on a windy day. The first time the stud horse had been rode in forever. And I was freaking, I was freaking out about it because I was so concerned he was going to be hurt. He's like, I am not going to live my life in fear. I'm not going to not do things that I enjoy and that I love because I'm scared. And that hit me like
Oh,
a
yeah. I can't
ton
even
of
imagine.
bricks. Because then he turns and he looks at me with that,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just waiting for the response.
yeah, like, no, like, are you getting what I'm putting?
Oh,
like,
okay,
he
yeah.
was telling
you.
me
Telling you. Yeah.
to adopt that. But yeah, Blake was the trigger.
Yeah.
Blake was absolutely the trigger. Just watching him come back from that, you know, dying all those times and, you know, no chance of living and then no chance of being out of a facility, and to watch him just come running back at life, just so strong and so brave. No fear, you know, just like, no, I'm not missing out on anything life has to offer. And I was like, oh man, he's right.
I should do that.
Yeah. Well, no, you told me to.
No, I was making a joke at the
Yeah.
Bike Girls.
Yeah,
thing
no, but like
he's
when
done.
he flat like was like, you know, I can't remember exactly what he said. Something about, I'm not going to miss out on life because I'm scared. I mean, and you should try it. So, and I was like, oh, now he's the parent.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning from him.
Yeah.
But he was absolutely right, because I was scared. I was really scared to make a big change like that. Really, really,
Yeah.
really scared. Scared I was going to lose the family. Scared it was going to cause the Great Divide. Scared of everything that happened.
When we close the box, we'll explain why we call it quarter box real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
You're,
no,
you're
no.
scared you're gonna lose the family. You're scared you're gonna.
Yeah, I was scared of, but it's like, I guess it was just an acceptance of, what do you do? Chase him down to keep him
How
in.
did you finally make the decision to like break the like I'm comfortable, like I don't want to split anything up, and go to the point to where it's like this is better for me and my family, like this is better for my mental and maybe the family's mental status?
Counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to counseling. And he...
Did you go to couples counseling or just single?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You don't want to know why?
Yeah.
Because I'm not the one that's effed up. You're the one that's effed up. Famous tagline. Heard it for years.
Oh shit! The cardboard box is a famous tagline too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But I guess before we get too deep into all that, I feel like we should close the cardboard box.
Yeah.
Yep.
And explain why this is
Because
the cardboard box.
She was always told she would be living in a cardboard box. So here we are, finally living in one.
In a luxurious cardboard
Yes.
box.
So, and we're gonna close it because we're trying to keep these short for you guys.
Yeah.
So I hope you liked listening to my mom.
I would like to
Boy.
call this episode Motivation with Michelle.
Mamavation.
Yes, Mamavation.
Michelle.
Yes.
And so we'll probably keep talking about this, but I feel like we hit enough pretty good points
Yeah.
for you guys to grasp something out of it.
I grasped.
I
I
feel
definitely
like I
got
just
something out of
rambled.
it.
No, it was a good ramble for
It's
sure.
stuck.
I get off
Mhm.
topic.
Oh, it's stuck in
Go
my
down a
head.
rabbit hole.
All right, muchachos.
We'll see y'all
See you later.
Peace out.